So what does the classroom look like when students are determining their own learning? What does it look like from the outside when you're observing?
I want really to say that in our fantasy, when school students truly can enjoy self-determined learning, there may not be a classroom. There may be projects. There may be student self-developed learning communities. There may be individual students or groups of them can self-organize learning pathways in different ways. So there may not be a classroom, I think, per se. However, I mean, there are strategies and tactics that Michael and his colleagues have worked on for a long time that can help in a special education context, but can really brought out to a lot more students. I'll let Mike talk about that.
I think I would echo Young's point, and there are a growing number of schools, particularly at the secondary level, where students might spend half their day implementing what they've learned in project-oriented, meaningful activities. So, I think we do have to distance education from a place in that sense. Young and I were at a school a couple of years ago where not only there was a physical school, but students could choose. They had a voice over what they learned, and then they could choose to learn it in a typical classroom setting. They could learn it in a small group. They could learn it individually online. But, as teachers, one of the things we often do is we create learning communities in the context of classrooms and in the context of buildings. And I think that there are strategies. You organize education settings to maximize student choice and voice. You have students actively engaged and responsible for setting rules and regulations, those that need to exist. You have autonomy supportive practices in place. So instead of responding to student questions by answering, you respond in ways that facilitate students to think about what they are. You create contexts in which it's safe to make mistakes. The way we learn to solve problems is that we try to solve small problems, and we're often not good at it when we begin. And so we have to create communities in which every student is valued. Students feel safe to try things out and to fail. Failure becomes a learning experience, and that we focus on goals, not even primarily the outcome of goals, but the process of goal setting and goal attainment. Because then you can work in student preference and interest into that. Young writes and talks a lot about the need for flexible environments that it involves schedules and the way the day proceeds, and taking advantage of that unique learning opportunity and not just cutting it off because it's time to leave for the next class, kind of thing.
One of the stories you talk about in the book is the story of Samuel Levin and the Independent Project. So who is Samuel Levin, and how, why is he relevant to what you're talking about?
Well, I can get started by that because it's basically, this was a while back. He was a high school student in a high school in Massachusetts, and he was the student who started really building a high school in many ways. Within a school, he was not happy to see some of his friends' experiences, so went to the school board, a principal, and got supported, and the school board to say, can I have my own school? So in essence, they built a school, and students participated, and they ran a school. And I thought that was a great experience, a great example of self-determined learning. That if you are not happy about something, do something about it. And when you do something about it, and be responsible, for that. And going through that process, I'm sure they've learned a lot. And it was an interesting example. If that can be done in one school, why can't be done in other schools?
So I think I agree with Young. It was a perfect example of both the initiative, the action that leads to of Sam's self-determination, and then how to begin to structure schools that really took advantage of student preferences and interests.